Hi, my name is Em. I love colorful makeup and colorful language. Welcome back. I was about to say to another episode of New Makeup Nonsense Bingo, but today is a new makeup hangover. Now, if you don't know what this is all about, so New Makeup Nonsense Bingo is something that I created and launched with my dear friend Teresa of Teresa Is Dead. Also, I just want to send a lot of love to Teresa, who's been dealing with a bunch of different health, sickness stuff. We added on New Makeup Hangover as kind of the in-between between bingo episodes. And while we've kind of stepped back and been doing more bingo, we decided this week, because the releases were skimpy, even though it's been 2 weeks, that we would just do a hangover and talk through whatever we felt like talking through. So if you came over from Teresa's channel, hi, hello, I would love for you to say hi in the comments. And if you have not seen Teresa's video, you should definitely go check it out. I have more than a handful of things tagged. We're gonna see what I feel inspired to actually talk about today. Usually I use the hangover to talk about things that interest me or that y'all have tagged me in, or I guess things I also don't like. It's just, there's no randomizer, there's no alcoholic beverage, and there's no bingo card. I also want to take a second and talk about a sponsor for today's video, so let's jump over to that. Hi, it is in fact Emily, M, and I'm sponsoring today's video in a very cheeky little way. I know this is just a joke, but go along with me, okay? I am doing a 2-month-long fundraiser for Joy. I'm a disabled content creative who has been surviving off of mutual aid for years now. So this is not new to me, but fundraising for this situation is a little different, and it is a long push, and most of it is going to be over on Twitch. But I wanted to let my audience here know, because it's a larger audience and you might be interested in going and following me on Twitch. I'm imperfectly Im over there. Or you might just be interested in supporting me. If you are, here's the thing. Here's the story. For the last 3 years, really since March of 2020, I have spent in total perhaps a month worth of time. And that's being generous, perhaps a month worth of time physically around my community. Even when I was in the New York area, I was not, I was being quite safe. 3 years, a month. I'm in a location and in a financial situation where I have not spent a lot of time physically around people that I love. And it's wearing on me. It's wearing on me. So I'm trying to fundraise for a pretty big trip where I could spend time with friends, meet some friends in person that I have yet to meet. And the trip would also give you an opportunity to buy shoes in the width and size that I actually need, that are supportive, refresh my clothes beyond my small wardrobe. So that's why I'm doing this fundraiser. I have a ton of incentives, I have goals. Again, most of those are focused on Twitch streaming. So if that's important to you, you can definitely come over and hang out over there. But if you just perhaps have an extra money to spend after you've taken care of yourself and you would like to support me further, I would love for you to do that. And I also want to take this moment, this sponsorship moment as I'm framing it, to also say, if you're a patron of mine, if you're a channel member, your support means the world to me. Please, 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 please don't feel like, I don't want to spam, but I also don't want to not talk about it, because it is something I'm putting a lot of work into. And I'm still job hunting. I'm still filling out applications. I'm still taking on work that I can pick up, but I do need the help. And doing the streaming, doing YouTube, doing Patreon is nowhere near even paying my rent, to be honest. So if I can make this happen, it would be so important and so life-changing to me. Also, if you happen to see random tattoos on my body, temporary tattoos are one of the redeems. So that's going to be a thing that you will see probably for the next 2 months. My little fake sponsor moment over. Let's go back to Emily, who's just filming a fucking video. If you made it through all of that, I so appreciate you. If you aren't yet subscribed and you like colorful makeup, you like bitches with lots of opinions, or you just like cute fat babes, that would also be amazing if you would like to subscribe. Let's jump into these products. Let's talk about it. Let's see what's happening out in the makeup world and see if any of it is inspiring or interesting or roast-worthy even. So we're going to start with the release that actually did inspire this makeup look and has been inspiring me in its own ways. And that is this new anti-pop art release from About Face Beauty. About Face is the makeup line that was created by Halsey, and it's very much the imagery and the marketing for About Face has really inspired me from day one, even if the products weren't my like dream product. And this release is top tier to me. This theming, this branding, this marketing. So the anti-pop art release is really focused on, I believe, 4 new colors of their eye paints. But it is the artwork, the face charts that really, I love. And I really took that inspiration, and I'm working on a video that is kind of showing the ways I'm interpreting those looks into makeup fun. And that's my favorite thing. When I see a release and it inspires me, not in the bye kind of way, but in the, I want to play in my makeup. The circle look that I have on today is very much inspired by the orange and green circle look. There are other looks that I haven't kind of worked from, but I am into it. It's not even that I want those paint colors, because there's like an orange, there's a blue, there's I think another yellow and a green. Is that what it is? Oh, there's 5 new colors. But like most of the colors are not actually colors that I really want, but I love the inspiration. I think the collection is out now. The drawings are done by Halsey. That's pretty cool. And it's just one of those celebrity brands that doesn't just feel like it feels like there's some soul to it, I guess. It's funny that I say that, because the next release I want to talk about is like the opposite end of the spectrum. Physicians Formula? Is that you? Oh, no, that's Give Beauty. Gwen Stefani's makeup line has new cream contour bronzer duos and the Cheek My Glow highlighters. And it's the highlighters. The highlighters scream those Physicians Formulas brick highlighters, which I did own back in the day, I had no interest in buying from this brand for like layers upon layers. One, Gwen Stefani of today, makeup-wise, does not inspire me. Gwen Stefani of the 90s to early 2000s was a huge impact in terms of inspiration, aesthetically, musically. But now, 2, I heard there's some multi-level marketing kind of components to the brand, so strike 2. And then there's the whole race fishing, is that what it is? The whole I am Japanese of it all. So no. But also it's not even inspiring. When you remind me of Physicians Formula, that is an insult. That should offend you. Quick note about round 2 with Glamlight and Scooby-Doo. I am gonna say, I think, and I felt this way with the first release, I think across the board they've kind of nailed, well, I think across the board, they've done some cute-ass releases with Scooby-Doo. I do think the big palette has way too much extraneous room, but I don't hate it, and it feels thoughtful, and I even felt that way with the first collection, and I know some Scooby-Doo people were like not into it, but I was. Again, didn't buy anything, but I can admire from afar. I think the lip duos, I think the blush, I think the colors in the palette, I think they did a good job, and I'll say it again because I know I've said it before. I am so much more into this direction for Glamlight than I was with like Frosted Flakes X Glamlight, or even the older burger pizza palettes that didn't have an IP attached to them. So many people have been begging ColourPop for multi-chromes. I am not holding out hope. Truly not, for many reasons, which I've, beaten that horse dead multiple times over on this channel. But the fact that when they gave y'all multi-chromes, they gave you liquids that burn some people's eyeballs, that buff out to be very unimpactful, that are in tiny tubes. Yeah, y'all can keep that. Okay, this is one of those releases that I don't know anything about the brand, but it visually caught me, so I thought I would mention it. This brand Off-White has these new imprint crayon sticks. This is obviously like a luxury brand. They're at Saks. The product is $44 each. But the reason why I did want to show it is that the color choices they made, bravo. The two different greens, the deep purple that's almost cobalt blue, the red, and then the black and the brown. The thing with luxury makeup is that I feel like sometimes, every once in a while, a luxury brand will show a certain artistic direction that actually feels like it's exciting or interesting or just at least a little off the beaten path, and this is one of those kind of releases for me. I feel like I have to talk about this release, even though I Makeup Revolution has a collaboration with Fortnite. They've revealed the products. Okay. I don't care. There's a banana lip oil, banana baking powder, 9-pan palette. So the banana is, I guess, named Peely. The Supply Llama 9-pan palette, Supply Llama Dewy Swirl Primer, Cuddle Team Leader 9-pan palette, Cuddle Team Leader Pink Shimmer Gloss, cosmetic bag, headband. Like there's so many things. There's nail polish. There's fixing spray, there's brushes. This is makeup for children. I'm not saying Fortnite is a children's game, because I know a lot of adults, friends, who play Fortnite and love it. But this feels like makeup for children. I mean, I guess if you wanted something and you have the whole banana thing, get the headband or like the banana spun. I don't know. I get to pick my topics with New Makeup Hangover, and I still talk about Makeup Revolution. I just want to touch on the Charlotte Tilbury. There's a sneak peek of this new Airbrush Flawless Lip Blur Liquid Lipstick. First of all, I'm tired of liquid lipsticks. But second of all, this is a trend. This is me spotting a trend. Is the copying of like Korean lip formulas into Western brands. We saw it with Rare. There's somebody else that released something recently that reminded me of some of the lip products that I've seen. And this sounds like a K-beauty lip product. Or maybe it sounds like, I say I'm so tired of liquid lipsticks, but like I have the Cloud Lab Lip Clay from Kaleidos and Scorpion Fruit on today. This is like the only black. I just really hope, I'm sure this prayer is not going to go answered, but I really hope there's not this like high praise of these formulas now that they've come out by Western brands versus when they were by East Asian brands. Just saying. So Spectrum has a new travel books collection. It's 6 must-have brush sets inspired by the luxury of travel. And I say this every fucking time. I'm not super drawn to the mini brushes, but Spectrum, you continue to get praise from me because I think you nail the visual, the whole package. Like, you have the book, which is how you will travel with these brushes. The book, I love the graphic design they did. Like, I love the font choices. I love the color combinations. I love the shape cutouts so you can, like, see what's inside. And you have the travel brushes. So I feel like this is actually form and function. Now, I don't know the quality or functionality of the travel brushes, but you know, I have very much enjoyed my whole, or I'll say majority of my Katie Jane Hughes X Spectrum brushes. I still have a preference for natural hair brushes for my eyes, but face, eye detailing, graphic work, yes, really love them. And there's just the aesthetics of this, I'm into it. Spectrum, you're doing it again. And I would be far more like interested in buying one of these travel sets versus one of the Disney ones, which have generally been cute from Spectrum, but not my vibes. Okay, this one I almost skipped over, but the Etude House, or just Etude, has a collection with Love is True that's just really cute. I don't know what Love is True is. I don't know, but it looks like there's like a lip product, there's a purple blush, there's a 9-pan eyeshadow palette, looks like a makeup bag. I know that a lot of speaking of like K-beauty and Asian beauty, I know a lot of those eyeshadows are much more softly pigmented. So the reality is that this is probably not a collection for me, but again, this is one of those marketing, packaging, color story, all of it together, just chef's kiss. So I was looking at all of the releases, some of which y'all have tagged me in and others that I've seen, all of these indie releases. And this is something that I have seen in conversation across a lot of different spaces about a level of like indie burnout. And I kind of just want to consider this like a big segment. We're just gonna go through all of them. I'm gonna try to go at a pace that feels a little quicker than what I might normally do. More short, snappy, we will see. I will end on like a high note. You know, we're just gonna go for it. I'm just gonna say the things that I feel in my chest, feel in my heart, whatever, because I fucking love indie makeup. Indie eyeshadow is across the board consistently the only eyeshadow I'm really interested in, but I still feel this like level of critique, and I've been this way for a long time. It's interesting to see some of my community and my like communities that I'm in kind of catching up. And by interesting, I mean the I told you so of it all makes the Virgo rising, Sagittarius, sun and moon in me a little too happy. And that's the kind of toxic I am. So the first palette I have saved is from Glisten Cosmetics. This is the Time Warp palette. It is a 6-pan palette. It's in a triangle shaped packaging. Looks like magnetic packaging because there's little divots to take out the shadows. The cover is this really cool like rainbow holographic, like groovy kind of situation. And it looks like it's all like duochromes. It's a celestial inspired palette, contains 6 intensely pigmented pressed duochrome pigments. Available now. The thing is it's $44 for a 6-pan, and I just think that's a little high. But I've always felt that Glisten's pricing, from what I've heard from people in the UK, Glisten, their price point for like their water activated liners, they are pretty competitive, or like kind of like some of the best price points you can get when you're based in the UK, considering custom shipping, blah, 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 blah. But if you're outside of that, their pricing can sometimes feel like it skews a little high. I think $44 for this does feel a little high. There's always affiliate codes. I have one that gives you 15% off, and perfectly am. Would love for you to use it if you're ever interested in a Glisten product. And these colors don't look groundbreaking. They look like a lot of your kind of go-to private label manufacturer duochromes. At the same time, I really like the packaging, and I would be really, because I'm a clown, I'm not making this short and sweet because that's the kind of clown shit I do. I would be very tempted to pick up like 6 of their water activated liners, because they come in like individual pans. This palette is not magnetic, but you can do that and like use that Time Warp palette for liners and then put those singles into my collection. But like, I'm a clown, I shouldn't do that, but there might come a day where I do. But I want more from Glisten. I want, like, if they're gonna go into the eyeshadow world, which I know they have a duochrome like 5-pan palette. I don't know what the quality is like, but I feel like they do other things like in such a thoughtful way. I kind of want them to see them do that with their eyeshadow choices, with what they're putting out, because I think the packaging is fucking like nailed it. But I don't know if the colors are interesting enough to get an indie lover who's already buying eyeshadows elsewhere to buy this. So the next palette is a palette from the next release is a palette from Simply Posh Cosmetics. This is the Citrus Punch palette. It's an 18-pan palette. It looks like there are 12 mattes and 6 shimmers. Citrus Punch is a spot-on name for it. I think it's out. It launches May 12th. And it's a magnetic palette, like the palette looks like all the shadows can come out. I've seen swatches from Ratbor on Instagram who received this in PR. The shimmers interest me way more than the mattes, but that's because I'm not an orange lover. I'm not a red lover. And I have personally heard mixed things about their matte formula. So 18 pan palette, a little too big for me. This feels repetitive, not really trusting of the matte formula. It feels repetitive. I'm gonna say that again because it does feel repetitive to me. So yeah, not for me, not for me. But I have to say, a palette that really destroys me for the repetition, destroys me in a bad way, is the Inslee Rain Flower Moon palette. It is already launched. It is $70, $69. The theme and the imagery is really cool. It's like moons, mushrooms, flowers, but you cannot tell me that middle row of sparkly greens, there's at least 4 of them, if not 5 of them, that look incredibly close. All of the grungy green mattes look like they're almost the same, or 3 out of the 4 look the same. Even some of the other tones look very close. This is such a cool theme. This could have been a beautiful 12 pan palette. Instead it's 21 pans and it's $70, and I just, no. The next palette up is from Wicked Sisters Cosmetics. This is the Wicked Garden eyeshadow palette. Love the theme. I think the cover is very pretty. I think it's repetitive in tones. I think this could have been a 12 pan instead of a 15 pan. And it doesn't look like a texturally interesting palette, so no. Sugar Drizzle. Sugar Drizzle has new trichrome eyeshadows that are $19 each, and a mini metallic palette that is $45. I don't believe you when you say that those are trichrome and $19 each. They do not look like $19 eyeshadows. And the private label, or the mass I don't know, a private label, Alibaba, whatever. You can go buy that yourself, buy 100 units and resell it kind of palettes never really grabbed me, and this mini metallic palette looks like one of those where it's just like, what are we doing here? I think Sugar Drizzle can do really interesting color stories. I think when they take their time to make a pretty color story, do one of their silly little themes, I think it's cute. I would not go to them for singles. I would not go to them and spend money on like a $45 6 pan, because yet again, $45 6 pan, at least with Glisten, the packaging was way more interesting and custom to them than that palette. Speaking of Sugar Drizzle, they have another release. This is the Red Panda palette. It's a 12 pan palette. There are 2 mattes and 10 shimmer duochromes. It looks like the 2 mattes are a red and a deep, like, plummy pink. The thing with this packaging is it's giving me menagerie, and that's not really a compliment, because when I saw it, I thought it was a menagerie palette. Not that they can't do animal themes. They can obviously do what they want. I think this is more interesting, but I don't think it's... it feels like they're kind of competing with that Glam Light Chucky palette color story, but I think they could have, like... I'm a shimmer person, but I think they could have done like 4 mattes and 8 shimmers and would have gotten a palette that's a little bit more functional. Like a black, a gray, a red, and a pink, or a black, a really deepened berry blood red, and then a bright red, and that plummy pink, I think could have taken them much further when you're building looks. But like, it's not terrible, but... So can you feel the burnout? For me, I feel like there's just so much. First of all, a lot of brands are releasing really quickly. A lot of brands are, I feel like, duplicating themselves either within the same palette or within their releases. And I just want a little bit more thoughtfulness. And that's always been my thing with brands. I've always wanted brands to feel thoughtful and feel inspired. Now, the last indie release, I'm not sure how I feel about the overall color story, but I am feeling more positive about it than I have some of the other releases today. So Clionadh Cosmetics has a new whole Deep Sea Treasures collection. So there is a palette, and then they have revealed 3 mini nail lacquers. I don't know if there's more with this collection, but we're going to talk about the nail polishes and the palette. So first of all, the nail polishes. $15 for 3 mini indie nail polishes. Yes, I like that. I'm not like, Ring of Fire is not necessarily a me color, and I'm not a big nail polish person, but I just recently put on this is, I think, Pink Lemonade, I think is the name of the color from Cirque. And this is the kind of effort that I will do. Sheer glitter, holds on well, can layer it up for more intensive color, like a little bit more impact, or put it on sheerly if it chips, because every polish chips on me badly. It's less painful. So for me, I look at Cephalopod and I'm like, oh fuck, that nail polish color. But I just generally think this is a cute little range of colors. And I personally think that the $15 price point is so like welcoming to me. I don't finish nail polishes. And to get 3 kind of like multi-chrome glittery shades, especially because I have seen other polishes that Clionadh has released, and I do think that they look quite pretty. I'm into it, personally. I would be curious to hear, like, if you're not a nail polish person, does something like this trio draw you in? Or if you are a nail polish person, like, how are you feeling? And then there's the palette. So this is an 8-pan palette, and it's all special shades. And I say special meaning there's no mattes. There's no mattes. It's just the stained glass shape shadows. So it's releasing Tuesday, May 16th at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And it is $125 Canadian. It's approximately $94 USD. And there are coupons. I feel like Clionadh doesn't do huge coupon codes. Like, I think what I heard was like 6%, but I'm not sure. It is a magnetic palette. I'm distracted now. Sorry. Let me catch up. It is a magnetic palette, and there are 8 shades, and they have shown swatches. The only swatches they've shown have been still like images, which in my opinion, as somebody that loves multi-chromes, loves duochromes, loves any kind of shifty shadow, I don't personally think the one still image that they did, which they did show on multiple skin tones, but I don't think it shows the full like range of a multi-chrome shadow or a glittery shadow even. But the 8 colors are saltwater pearl, a bright silver with a sheer seafoam green base, aqua shifts, and hints of warm. The bins, which is a rich teal base with large glitter particles, shifting lilac beige, yellow with hints of lime. Fool's gold is a warm brown base with yellow lime aqua shifts and hints of purple. Kelp forest is a deep, cool brown base with green, turquoise, blue, indigo shifts. Ring of Fire is a large particle glitter shadow with red, hot sparkles that shift orange, yellow, and chartreuse. Cephalopod is a large particle glitter shadow with pinky mauve base and bright green aqua pink shifts. Shipwreck is a smooth red to black orange shadow with hints of gold and indigo micro shimmer. And Scuba is a slate gray base with medium glitter particles subtly shifting indigo violet peach and hints of yellow. Now, here's what I'm going to say. Do I think spending $100 on 8 shadows is a lot? Yes. Do I think that if you are drawn to all of these colors, that is a good price per shadow? Yes. It's like $12 per shadow. Are there better prices out there? Sure. But I have to say, for me, the theme, the tentative color choices, the finishes, I am into it. I am more impressed by it than I was their last palette in terms of the whole execution. But first of all, as I just told you all earlier in the video, I'm a broke bitch and I am not sure if spending $100 or $100 plus shipping and everything else. By not sure, I mean, I'm not going to be buying it at launch. I do think that Clionadh has said that it's limited edition, but they will restock as there is demand. So depending on how the swatches in motion look, depending on what that first round of kind of reviews and looks look like, I am very much interested in the palette. But I am looking at I will be looking at comparisons and all of that, because there are definitely like probably a good at least half at least 4 shades in the palette where immediately like, I don't even care if I have something similar, I want it. But then there are other shades that I'm like, I would like to see those compared to some of the other Clionadh shadows, other Terra Moon shadows, other brands too. So I like this collection, but I don't want to convey a like, oh my God, everyone needs to go get it, blah, 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 blah. No, like that's not who I am anyway. And I don't know if everyone's going to be into this. I don't know if everyone that sees these colors is going to be drawn to it. But when I saw the deep sea theme, I kind of assumed you would go for more, that there would be more blue in the palette. And blue is not my color. Blue is not my go-to. So the fact that there isn't as much blue as I was first expecting, I think also makes me more interested. All of that to say, I kind of dig it, but I'm also, it's a wait and see situation. So definitely let me know your opinions on that. I can't quite get a feel for like, you know, people's feelings on it right yet. And I feel like y'all are always a good test, good temperature check. That is it. That's where we're ending today. I hope you enjoyed this. Definitely feel free to keep tagging me on Instagram. Even if we don't get to them in like every bingo, I might start throwing in a hangover every once in a while, or like doing a hangover instead of a bingo, because I'm doing bingo every other week anyway at this point. So I might start doing that where I kind of catch up on some things y'all have tagged me in. We shall see. Either way, I want to say yet again, thank you so much to my patrons and my channel members for your support. That is an amazing way to support me. I know I did my whole fundraiser spiel at the beginning, but like that's also a lovely way to just continually show your support. It's why I'm making videos, because y'all support me in that way when some of the social media platforms don't. No matter what, take care of yourself better today than you did yesterday. Bye, friends.